Hi everyone, I'm Rensler with Conquer Gaming Lounge, and we are back with the next episode of Let's Play and Learn Satisfactory, maybe kinda? Alright. Alright, so when we left off on the last episode, we moved the hub, we put a bunch of leaves in this biomass burner, we built a power line, we hooked it up to this smelter cool thing that we built, and we laid down a portable miner so we can bust out some iron because we are trying to automate things as soon as possible. And if we do things correctly and we automate as soon as possible, then we end up with efficiency, and that is what we want. So, let us first come here and set a recipe. So, I walk up to the smelter and I press E. When I press E, I get this UI, and this is a recipe selector, and it wants me to tell it what I want it to smelt, what I want it to make. What is it supposed to do? So many buildings do this. So, we give it what it wants. I want iron ingots, and it says, okay, you give me ore, I give you ingots. How about that? And I say, that's fantastic, and I shift left click, and it roars to life. Hi, Steve. So, now we've got a smelter smelting away, busting out ingots for me. So that's doing its job. We come over here to our portable miner. We're going to grab all from that. Heck yeah. And now, my smelter's all loaded up with stuff to do. Yeah. We like it. Alright. So, let's go take a look at the next hub upgrade and see what else we can automate here. Hub upgrade 3. Oh, we're going to get concrete? We're going to get screws? Oh man! Reinforced iron plates! And constructors! And now we can scan for limestone! Yeah! Let's click on that. I don't know why I do the voices. My therapist says it's because of my ADHD. I use it to cope with things, but maybe. I don't know. I'm not the expert, she is. Alright. So we're going to take our iron ore and we're going to dump that into our smelter here. So that guy is just going to burn away on that. Okay, so we want to make another smelter. And we need to, because I've got some copper ore here that we want to automate. So we're going to hit Q. We're going to go back to our build menu here. We're going to put another smelter on the menu. Bust out some rods. And as we do things repetitiously, I will stop explaining them, because you don't need me explaining how to hammer things out on this bench for the 15th time. I believe you've gotten it at that point, so I won't keep trying to hammer that into you when you don't need it. So here's another thing that's really cool that we haven't touched on yet. Automatic lining up of stuff. Alignment, right? The game will do its best to align things, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we're going to press 5. And if I line this up just right, you'll notice that there's this little line that pops up. It's telling me that roughly the center of the object next to it is aligned with the center of the object I'm trying to build, right? But not quite. If you notice the white boxes on the left side there, and I'm pointing at my screen like you can see what I'm doing, but I'll put an arrow there. That's not really lined up. It's kind of close, but not enough. And for anybody that's particular about where things go, that is not close enough. I get it. So I'm going to use the default keybind, which is G for Gary. So we're going to press and hold G, and what that does is it actually lines it up. So now if I make it nice and close to its buddy there, and I left click, it is now made sure to line it up. So now I've got two smelters lined up properly, front to back, right next to each other. But I do not have a power pole, right? So if I don't have a power pole, and my burner can only have one connection, and my smelter can only have one connection, I can't even power this yet. Right? So that's a thing. And let's make some plates, rods, and iron. Alright, let's see how much we need. 20, 20, and 20. That makes that simple. Okay. So 20 plates. I pressed spacebar once, right? That's our auto craft. 16, 18, and 20. And our rods. And 20, and our wire. So we have to get through these ingots first. So we've got our wire. And notice I'm only doing the minimum right now. Notice I'm only making enough for the milestone. Oh, I thought Ada was going to speak. Okay, well, I paused to let Ada speak.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 8th objective, complete hub upgrade 4. Note, use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results.
Okay, so we are going to... First, we're going to go to our smelter and turn it off. Then we're going to kill our power line. So what we need to do now is build rods and wire. Okay. Build a power pole so we can have multiple connections. The level 1 power poles can have... Oh, I need more cable. Can have up to 4 connections total, and that's important to note. So here's what I do. I build a pole, and normally its only purpose is to connect these two and then extend to the rest of the grid. But right now, we don't have enough materials for all of that, so... So this is also a standby switch. This is a power switch, right? So you can turn it on or off. So if you've given it something to do, you can say stop that, or you can say go ahead, right? That's important. All right, so now both of these guys. Let's take a look at our fuel. Shift click to top it off. It's going to tell you it uses 80 leaves per minute, which means this has 6 minutes and 15 seconds worth of power before it's going to die and run out of fuel. So now... Now we've got 2 of these guys running, so that means we're drawing 8 megawatts. We're producing 8 megawatts. Our maximum consumption right now is 8 megawatts. And our actual consumption is 8 megawatts. Cool. Let's see if... Okay, so we have constructors now. Because we have constructors, we're going to try to build at the craft bench the least amount of things, period. The goal is to automate all of the things as much as possible, right? So the next thing I want to do is get my smelter hooked up to a constructor and automatically build things. And then we will get ready for a miner to be put on this node. So the miner goes to the smelter, goes to a constructor, right? So what we're going to do is just dump all of that because I don't need any of that right now. So I just built this, but we're going to tear this down. So I'm going to press F for dismantle. I'm going to tap G. I'm going to tap G again, and you can see the maximum dismantle limit. And G, and press and hold left click, and now all of those things are gone. You'll notice all of that stuff's gone. So what I'm going to do is build this in the smart way where I know where my miner's going to be, and I know roughly how much space it takes up. So I want to be ready for that. And yes, I could have done that in the beginning. So if you note that in the comments, I agree with you. So we're going to highlight it and make this about, and we'll put this right about here. Okay, and we're going to go back to the build menu and take our constructor and put it on hotbar 6. And we're going to step away from that a little bit. Actually enough that we can get a splitter in there. We'll get there and line that up. Okay. And we're going to add a constructor to our... Now you'll notice how the level of complexity jumps quickly. So the worst thing I can do, the worst thing I consider myself doing, is moving too quickly for you and not explaining things enough. That is what I want to avoid. I don't want to force you into not understanding what I'm trying to do. That's not okay with me. Okay, so we can make 2 reinforced iron plates. So we're going to do that. Okay. So now we've got something else that's going to tax our power grid, right? And I'm pressing and holding G to make sure this is lined up. Yeah, that's enough space for a splitter. Okay, so we're going to build our first conveyor belt, and we need more plates for this. I already know we're going to need more plates. So we're going to get ourselves some plates. And yes, I know I just hand built something that the constructor could have built. That fact is not lost on me. Okay, so now we need 1 more power pole. Okay, and concrete. There we go. Alright, so what I like to do is hub and spoke. So this is my hub. This will always be it, and there's always going to be 2 burners there, and then 2 power poles coming off of that, and then those go to everything else. So we're going to build another pole in the middle here. And now I need cables. And that's what happens when you get stuck in the search bar. So the beginning of it, me trying to go path of least resistance to actual, oh, I need 1 more cable, to automation is tough, right? I haven't done early game in Satisfactory in a while, and it shows, because I'm floundering just a little bit. Alright, so now we've got a chain of stuff working here, right? We're going to take this guy there and this guy there. Cool. So now our smelter and our constructor have power now. So we're going to come over to the smelter and give it a recipe of ingots. Come over to the constructor and press E. And it's the same kind of recipe menu, the UI, but it's different recipes, of course. So we are going to pick plates. So what happens here is if I feed this ore, it makes ingots. And if I feed this ingots, it's going to make plates. And if we look at the power pole, which you can do, it will tell me what my consumption is, what my max is. So this tells me that a smelter and a constructor take exactly the same amount of wattage to run. 4 and 4, okay? So that means I can have 2 smelters and 2 constructors on my grid right now, and there's no fear of it tripping unless it runs out of fuel, which we're going to go top this off real quick. Just like that. Alright, so now we need portable miners so we can make, well, we need portable miners so we can get more copper and we can get limestone, right? So let's take a look at our next milestone. It's Hub Upgrade 4. We're going to get conveyor poles, Conveyor Belt Mark 1, and inventory slots. Okay, I use those. I don't understand what's going on right now. Is the game kind of glitched? I don't know. Whatever. So we need we need cables. And we need plates, right? So we're going to have plates because this guy's making us plates. Thank you, guy! You're so nice, guy. And because I need to make some rods, I'm also taking the ingots that you have. So something that we're going to do is we're going to make some plates and rods for myself. Because that's what... That's what portable miners use, but it's also what craft benches use, because I don't want to have to keep jumping from there to here to there to here to there to here. So we're not. We're going to press Q, and we're going to go to production, and we're going to make a craft bench right here. Pro tip number 1, craft benches everywhere. Seriously. Craft benches everywhere. Transportation is expensive. Transportation of all types is expensive. And that includes you. It's expensive. So, transport less, go less, move less, run around less. That's what we're going to try to do here. Okay, so we've got some resources. So we're going to come over here to the equipment workshop, which we will build more of. And portable miners, we're just going to build all of these. Can you have too many portable miners? Probably, but I don't know what that number is. Just being truthful. Being truthful, people. Okay. Cool. So, I'm actually going to start with limestone first, because limestone takes forever. And I'll tell you why. We need a constructor. We gotta make some reinforced iron plates real quick. And I need screws. I need exactly 12 screws. I need more. I need more! I don't know why I'm doing that voice, by the way. And we'll come over here. Cool. Alright, so reinforced iron plates. Oh, I actually need to make them. That would be sweet. Okay, and we need to make some wire so we can make some cables. It is 2 wire per cable. You'll see here that it's 2 wire, 1 cable. And for recipes, I did gloss over this, and I apologize for that. But for a recipe, it is, here's how many of this thing you need, and here's how many of this thing you're going to get. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to need a power pole. So we got to put up a power pole. I'm going to need power lines. So we're just going to make the rest of these. Because I don't think that that is enough cable. This might be enough cable. Okay. So here's what we do. That is serving those 2. So we don't do that, right? So we are going to... Oh! Someone's angry. Okay. I apparently got too close to his playhouse over there. That's more iron, by the way. And he did not appreciate that much. But we took care of that. Okay. So we did take damage. We'll be fine. We'll be okay. Alright, so getting back to what I was stating here. Now, something cool. A faster way to build power poles. If you click on the power line and you select a pole, and I left click it 1 time, and I build this just in the middle of nowhere, notice that I can build a pole anywhere and it will automatically connect it with a line, which is great. Except I don't have enough wire to build a pole. There we go. So I'm going to press 2. I'm going to click on this guy. And it will tell you there's 2 of 4 connections right now, which means I can click it and I can add another pole, which we're totally doing right now. And we've got... Where is it? It's over there. Alright. So we're going to take this pole and we're going to drag it over here as far as we can. And you see that notice at the bottom it says wires too long? You just see where that break is, right about there. We're just going to put that right there. So this is a distribution pole. So now what we'll do is what we did before, which is go to our inventory, use the correct key, why don't I, and shift click a miner into my hands and don't fall down that crevice. That's the void. You will die. Deathy death is on the other side of that. And we're going to set up two portable miners. Then we're going to clear up the leaves that are around here. And I'm expecting the miner to be right about there, so we're going to take a constructor. Now, taking limestone and turning it into concrete does not require a smelter. I did not skip a step. I did not miss something. I just know how limestone works in the game. Limestone does not require a smelter. You go straight to a constructor. That's why I did this. And we're going to hook this constructor up to the grid. I'm going to say I want concrete. I'm going to come over here to my portable manners. And shift click. So it takes 3 limestone to make 1 bag of concrete. Or a tri-bag of concrete. But that's considered 1 bag of concrete. So it's resource intensive. Compared to the other things, it absolutely is. So that's going to make limestone for us. And I don't need this, so if I press Q, I can just hit clear list. Oh, somebody else want to say hi? Hi, Carl. Alright, so that's going. So now we're pulling 12 megawatts from the system. That's important. Okay, so we've automated some concrete here a little bit. We'll grab some concrete from you. Now we're going to go do the same thing to copper. Alright, we're here at copper. We're going to drop down a couple of our portable miners, just like we did in the concrete. They can clip into each other, that's fine. It doesn't affect the game at all. It makes it look aesthetically not awesome, but whatever, you know. And these guys are just going to bust out this. So I do need to go get more iron, so we're going to zoop through that. Okay, so we're back at the hub again, and I am going to make a smelter and a constructor so we can get rods. We want to automate rods. So we're going to put one of those and one of these here. And it's funny, to make rods, I need rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need some wire. So we've got that. Reinforced plate does require ingots so we can make rods, so we can make the screws. We need cable, but that means we also need more copper. So there's a lot going on here right now. So the smelter is taking 30 iron per minute and making 30 ingots per minute over there, and this is taking 30 ingots per minute and it's making 20 plates per minute. So what I need to do is rob this of ingots, honestly. Okay, that might be enough. So my goal is not to skip around on things too much because that can get disorienting. And it makes sense to me that it would. Okay, so we've got reinforced iron plates. If you're looking for someone to progress quickly in this game, that's not me. Okay. And our smelter does not require plates, so we're going to at least get started with the smelter. That's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, so we're going to... Yeah, we got to line up on this, and we got to put our zapper back in our hands so we can mine this real quick. Cool. And now what we'll do is we'll orient our cursor exactly south, and we'll give ourselves some space so the miner can be there. And we're going to... Something to note when placing buildings, the building itself will tell you where the input and output direction is. Notice the arrows. There's a set of arrows going into the machine and a set of arrows coming out of the machine. Those are the input outputs. The machine will tell you what the input outputs are before you place it. That allows you, the builder, the engineer, to ensure that everything is facing the direction that you want it to face. If you mess up, just dismantle it and build it again. There is no material penalty for that. Okay, so now we're going to just pick a pole here. And it says I can't afford it because I don't have enough cable. And I need 2 cable for that, apparently. Wild. Okay. Alright, so now we have to go back to the copper line just to get cable to build that. And we're back. And I did it. I grabbed more copper ingots. There's no reason for you to waste time seeing that, so I just zooped that over for you. Okay, so now we've got power line here to there. Fantastic. We're going to say you are iron ingots. And this is iron ore. Rockin'. And for constructor, I need cable. I need 7 cable, which means I need 14 wire. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to take our constructor and give it enough space. That should be good. Yeah, that's enough. And build our conveyor belt. Fantastic. And give this a recipe of rods. Rock on. And I need more cable. Okay. Alright, so now we've got... Right, that's hooked up. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at max capacity. So we're going to top this off with leaves. So now we're at maximum capacity. We cannot do anything more to the power grid as it stands right now, or we will automatically trip the breaker. Alright, so now we've got as much things as we can automated. Let's see what we need. I need those plates. There you go. And I need cables. I need 19 more cables. Okay, we don't have that automated yet, so we're just going to get that done. Okay. Go get some more plates from our dude over here. Rock on. Sweet, we got upgraded.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building, conveyor belts and poles. Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective, complete hub upgrade 5. Note, portable miners cannot be connected to conveyor belts. Advice, when planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Yes, so conveyor belts can have valid and invalid configurations. They cannot bend too tightly, they cannot go up ultra steep cliffs, so there are limitations to what they can do. And we want miners so we can start really automating stuff. And I think we just got another biomass burner as well, so we'll have to hook that up to the grid and give it some fuel. Speaking of fuel, okay, no, I do have enough. Speaking of fuel, I thought I was going to have to go collect more leaves, but I don't. We don't have the other burner yet. Okay. So we've maxed out the grid right now. So I need 50 cables and those rods. So what I'll do is something that you can do to things. I want this to make rods. I want rods right now. So I'm going to take the plates, I'm going to select the recipe, and I'm going to change it to rods. So it has automatically given me any plates that were in its inventory if my inventory is not full. And it's now making rods at my request. So can you swap the recipe of something and make it do something else in the middle of its job? Yes. Yes, you can. Give that more of that, and I've got plenty of stuff right now, so we're going to bust out 40 wire and get ourselves 20 cable. Alrighty. Build ourselves our 20 cable here, get through this wire. Alright, so now we've got this guy making rods for us. We're going to come over here and see what his progress is. Rods are kind of slow. Rods are pretty slow in the manufacturing, so it got us about halfway there, so I'm just going to get through the rods that I can, try to help out just a little bit. So to me, what's big about automating the process is we can always focus on growth. We can always focus on progressing. And there will be times where I just have to do big projects on my own because, like I said, I will show you how to do something once. And then it'll be boring for you to see it 20 times, 30 times. It'll be boring for me to explain it every time. Like this guy ran out of limestone, so take everything for that, take everything for that. That's just going to keep rolling, so let it do its job. We'll bunny hop our way back to the hub. Kaboosh! Look at that!
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container. Hub feature Additional Biomass Burner. 10th objective, complete hub upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
That statement is false. A note saying there are no notes is a note. So now what I've done is I've doubled the maximum capacity of the grid. So now it's 40 megawatts. Right now our maximum consumption is 20, which means that each of these devices are going to produce at a maximum half their ability, which is nice. So to build a miner, you must have a portable miner. So we're going to pick up the miner. It's going to give me everything it had in its inventory and itself, right? So there it is. So we are going to press Q. We're going to go to miner. We're going to add that to this, and we're also going to add that to our hotbar and press 7. Good, I wasn't that far off. Cool. So we're going to take our miner and we're going to place it and add that to that, just like that. And I need cables. I'm sure I'm going to need cables and wiring and some concrete. Alright, so we made a pole and we made 2 cables. The miner doesn't need a recipe. It knows what it's doing. It's going to jam that big cutter head into this node and get us some ore there. Yeah. So this guy's going to be making rods. Just like that. So now this process is automatic. This guy feeds into this guy smelts it, feeds it to that guy. Now let's talk about production rates before we go, because this episode's long. This is an impure node, which means a Mark 1 miner can produce exactly 30 ore per minute, or 1 every 2 seconds. We come over to the smelter. The smelter has an equal rate of 30 and 30, and then this guy over here is only able to pull in at 15, which means if we had logistics, which we don't yet, I would want 2 of these making rods, and that would get us full speed. That would get us 100% efficiency. So right now this is going to work just as fast as it works. It's just how it is. So this will eventually back up. But the rate at this produces ore, or gets it, whatever, is equal to the rate of this burns it, which is, this is half the rate of everything else to make these rods. But there it is. We've automated our first line, everyone. We've got a miner and a smelter and a constructor. That's fantastic. Alright, well this has been a long enough episode, so we're going to call it here. Everyone, you've been amazing. I've been Rensler, and I will see you in the next one.